What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, y'all. Y'all have been blowing my comment section up, and I'm thankful. Some people, I ain't gonna lie, I've had to block. You ain't finna get in my comment section and insult me and call me names just because this whole leak came out. Okay, anybody that's been following my channel, if you've been watching my videos, what I've been doing is taking the information they're giving us, okay, and speculating based off of that information. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, before I get into the depth of this video, guys, if this game ends up being Xenoverse 3, it is what it is. I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna play it. I played Xenoverse 1, I played Xenoverse 2. Even back when the rumors very first started years ago of a potential Xenoverse 3, I wasn't a big fan. My biggest critique was that what is the story going to be? Because you can't continue the whole toe and mirror thing. All right. Xenoverse 1 and 2, the only difference is they added movie characters. And then and I'm not talking about DLC stuff, just base game stuff. All they did was added the movie characters and retold the same story. My biggest critique for Xenoverse was what story are they gonna do? Because the toe and mirror stuff is played out. And I still hold true to that. Now, we know the lore of Age 1000, okay? And there is so much, like I told you, if you've watched my videos, and I'm gonna say this, the majority of you haven't, and that's fine, But where's my project Age 1000 playlist at? Right here. There is 13 videos in this playlist, guys, and a lot of these videos are close to several of these are over hours long. This one's almost 3 hours long. So I know the majority of people haven't even paid attention to the things that I've said. And so basically, don't come in the comment section bumping your gums if you haven't even listened to the things that I've said about this game. Okay? While yes, I don't think it's Xenoverse 3, it's not going to bother me if it is. Because the things that I've talked about in these videos, if they carry that story and explore all of the different things from the lore of Age 1000, that's a win in my book. All right? That's not a failure. Okay? But yet and still, guys, I'm going to be real. I don't think it's Xenoverse 3. I still don't. I'm not 100% sold on it. I'm like 60-40. And I'm talking 60% it's not Xenoverse 3, 40% it could be. Okay? So one thing I want to do real fast, okay? I've pulled up several of the Bandai Namco YouTube channels. The two largest ones is the North America one and then the one that's, of course, in Japan. And I've done this before, but, you know, here's the thing about Bandai Namco. There's only about 2 of these that actually has Age 1000 listed in a playlist, okay? The American one does, but it's in the newest announcements and reveals, okay? And I'm going to go through these channels and show you this, and then I'm going to tell you what I think actually happened, okay? And this is coming from a YouTuber, and I don't understand why other YouTubers aren't saying these things, because they're YouTubers. They should know. In the video yesterday, I even showed you it doesn't make sense for them to take the playlist down when they could have easily just renamed the playlist, okay? But the big YouTubers, they want it to be Xenoverse 3 so bad that they're not thinking like a content creator about this stuff. That's why I'm not 100% sold, y'all. Once again, if it's Xenoverse 3, that's fine. I'm going to get it. I'm going to play it. The Age 1000 lore is what has me interested more than anything. I just would have rather have had a separate game than Xenoverse because of the style of game that Xenoverse is. I would love an open world game that you can explore, even if it's an MMO RPG. Because like I told y'all in my videos that I've done, I played Destiny. It's open sandbox on all of these planets. The people who have watched my channel and watched those videos, they know that. Okay? So I don't mind that. But the way that Xenoverse is made, it's not open world. There's no open sandbox. You're in a hub location. You get what I'm saying? And you just basically play missions. I don't like that. I don't want that. If that's all we got, then it is what it is. But this is why I don't want it to be Xenoverse. We can still have some of the same elements. An MMO, open world game type deal would be phenomenal, would be awesome. But for us to truly, in my opinion, explore what Age 1000 lore has to offer, an open world game would be ideal for that, as opposed to a game like Xenoverse where you're just in some hub location doing a bunch of random missions. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, Age 1000 on Bandai Namco America, they have the video there. The only playlist it's in is in this playlist, okay? Now, I want you to understand this as I'm going through these channels. Bandai Namco, as big as a company as they are, these YouTube channels are ran separately. Yes, they are official channels, don't get me wrong. But there is no continuity between these channels. Therefore, what that tells you, okay, is that these channels aren't really dictated by Bandai Namco. You get what I'm saying? If I go to EA Sports or you go to these other channels, guys, there should be continuity. If I'm on the American channel, it should have the same playlist for the most part of the games that are on the Japan channel, that are on the Brazil channel. But it's not. Okay, it's not. So what that tells you from a content creator perspective is that these channels, while they are official Bandai Namco channels, they're ran separate from the head of Bandai Namco. Okay? So look at the playlist for Bandai Namco America. Captain Tsubasa. Okay, Code Vein 2. Super Robot Wars. And then we go over to, this is the main one, this is the Japan one. And you do have that right there. Okay, Super Tsubasa right there. But notice they don't have some of the other stuff. They got Code Vein. Code Vein is there. Okay, there is Robot Wars, Ace Combat 8. Okay, but you see the playlists are different. Okay, and some of these games are Japan only games, but most of these aren't. These are, you got My Hero Academia right there. Okay, you got Bleach right there. All right, and then while I'm on this account, all right, look at the title of this thumbnail of this playlist. It's called Age 1000. Now, what you don't see is people saying, oh, so the name of the game is going to be Age 1000. No, but when they say Xenoverse 3, people automatically just assume that that's going to be what the game is. Guys, let me tell you something about playlist, okay? You title playlist for various different things, okay? You could title it for the name of the game, like you see here with The Blood of Dawn Walker. Super excited about that game. And then look, you can title it for other stuff. Tokyo Game Show 2025. You see what I'm saying? What I believe, and I'm going to just go ahead and say this before I get to these other channels. What I believe is a possibility. You can say I'm coping or whatever. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up from my videos. I'm just not one to go with the flow of the crowd. Like something just, I don't know, y'all, something just doesn't sit right. Because for one, Toriyama didn't work on Xenoverse 1. He didn't work on Xenoverse 2. Yet all of a sudden, he's built this entire world and made all of these characters heavily involved with the Xenoverse 3? That ain't like Toriyama. Something isn't right. from the sounds of what we've watched in these videos and what I've done extensive study on, this game, it's not even structured like a Xenoverse game from the way that they talk about it. Okay? But like I was saying about these playlists, Bandai Namco Europe, I'm so excited for this game, dude. I am. I swear I am. Look at the main page. They don't even have the same. You see what I'm saying? Bandai Namco Europe. Let's go to playlist. They don't even have Code Vein in the top. Like, come on, man. If Bandai Namco is running all of these YouTube channels as a company, guys, you want the same continuity. I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, no, DM, they're going to allow them to push games that are popular in their region. You mean to tell me that in Europe, they're not playing Code Vein? I find that hard to believe. Okay, this one is titled Bandai Namco eStore. Everybody's Golf Hotshot. Digimon Store. You see what I'm saying? There's no continuity between these. So why is it that the main channel, this is the Japan one, has it as Age 1000? Okay. And they have 2 videos in this playlist already. They have the release trailer. Okay, that was 4 weeks ago. And then they have the actual event. This is the video that I was always looking for on my other videos, but they have it here, which I want to say it's in Japanese anyway. So that doesn't help me. But they have it there. Now, are they going to go in here and rename this playlist Xenoverse 3? If it's Xenoverse 3, I don't know. That's not the point of my video. Okay? The point is, why is all of these accounts not doing the same thing that the main account is doing? Because I don't think these accounts operate based off of that. They may have gotten a call that said, hey, you need to take that down. But marketing, people get pretty smart with marketing, man. Look at what happened from that. The internet is flooded with Xenoverse 3 talk. What are people doing? They're going into the YouTube search bar and they're typing in what? Xenoverse 3. Guys, that brings me to my major point. With these playlists, they're named, yeah, some of them are named off of games. You will name your playlist based off of certain games, but you also name your playlist off of search engine optimization, SEO, okay? And aside from Age 1000, when it comes to Dragon Ball, what is the most typed in search term going on in the Dragon Ball community? I'm going to say last week before last, 2-3 weeks ago, Xenoverse 3. As soon as they announced Age 1000, a lot of y'all's Xenoverse 3. So the fact that they titled the playlist Xenoverse 3, guys, could have easily just been them titling it for a search engine optimization, and they didn't recognize that they did that. Probably didn't mean to make the playlist that title, and they took it down. But that's another thing. Why not just change it? For those of you who didn't watch my video yesterday, okay, this is a playlist. Okay, let me go to the actual channel here. I don't understand why they didn't do this. They could have easily just went here, clicked on the drop down menu, clicked on edit, and changed the name of the playlist. But instead they took it down. There's zero need to take it down. Mind you, they took it down and they didn't put it back up. Bandai Namco Australia, they're still talking about Night Rain. Okay? For me, because that's dedicated for me. Look at this channel, playlist. Blood of Dawnwalker, My Hero Academia, they got Code Vein up there. You don't see Age 1000. Now, do they have Age 1000 in a playlist anywhere? So far, only 2 channels has it in a playlist. This makes 3. And look at the name of the playlist that the Age 1000 video is inside of. They just titled it Dragon Ball. So they have some freedom with what they are able to do with these playlists. Now, guys, once again, could it be Xenoverse 3? It could very well be. I myself Can't stress this enough. I myself am just not 100% sold that it is. Okay? Do I want a Xenoverse game? I don't mind a Xenoverse game if they break away from the way that Xenoverse 1 and 2 was done. Give me an open world. Give me a world to explore. We're in Age 1000. That's the lore behind this game that's coming out. Okay? Guys, trust me when I tell you, you don't want to be stuck within a hub world. And you're not gonna be. If you listen to what they said about the game, he created a world. The last game guess what was the last game that Toriyama did that he was heavily involved with? Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And it was said then about that game. I followed that game since it was announced as Project Z and did a video almost every day on it. I know what I'm talking about. CyberConnect 2 DM me. I talked to them on Twitter about Kakarot. They told me themselves that I was right about a lot of stuff in that game. And I'm not saying I'm 100% right. What I'm telling you is I know about Kakarot. I know how Kakarot was made. Bandai Namco sent me a freaking collector's edition of Kakarot. Romstyle shouted me out about it. Got them to hook me up with it because of the work that I put in on it. So I say that to kind of give you my credentials when it comes to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Toriyama was heavily involved. He built that world to be a living, breathing world. Okay? So when I see them talk about Age 1000 and they say a world building, that doesn't represent the way that Xenoverse is made. So if anything, guys, to the Xenoverse fans out there, to me, if this game ends up being Xenoverse, understand that it could look vastly different from Xenoverse 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? So be prepared for that. All right? Be prepared for that. We could break out of that hub in Tokyo. And guys, when I got into Xenoverse, that's what I wanted. They advertised Xenoverse 1 about us making choices, and then we get into the game and we don't even make choices that matter, that affects the game. And then they talked about Toki City in part 2, where this hub world was bigger, and I got excited. I'm thinking Destiny open sandbox. That ain't what it was. You know what I'm saying? I wanted an open world experience. So we might get that with this game. And if that's the case, I'm be first in line to give me a copy. But I when I say I don't care for Xenoverse, it's the story that they just constantly repeat with the same, all Toei and Miro do, they just possess evil characters and you fight against them. That is not depth in storytelling. It's not, guys. If Dragon Ball did a saga about that, it wouldn't be very popular. You get what I'm saying? I don't think anybody plays Xenoverse 2 for the story. Some people do. You know what I'm saying? But I think, a lot of y'all play it because it's a multiplayer experience. And you have your creative character, which is phenomenal. I love that aspect of it. I've created multiple characters. But I can't get with the story, man. And so, Age 1000, the lore alone has me hella interested. All right? So understand that, man. This game could look vastly different. If it ends up being a Xenoverse game, it could be vastly different than Xenoverse 2. Are you going to be okay with that? The story's going to be awesome because the lore of Age 1000 is deep. But look like here, like I said, they got this playlist with Age 1000 in this playlist, but look at the name of it. Okay? So, same thing right here. They got the video right there, but go to the playlist. Look at how their playlists are structured. This is Brazil, by the way. We'll look up Age 1000 and see what playlist they have it in. They don't have it in a playlist. Okay? Bandai Namco, Latin America, over 100,000. Look, they got it right there front and center. Okay? Let's see if they have it in a playlist. Age 1000? Nope, don't have it in a playlist. Bandai Namco, Southeast Asia. This is the one that did it all. Okay? And of course, it's not there anymore. We look up Age 1000. Come on. It won't even type it in. You can't even look up age 1000. There it goes. I was like, dude, what's going on? They don't even have it in, of course, they don't have it in a playlist anymore. Okay. But like I said, when you look at all of these channels, their playlists are all different and they're all named kind of different things. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, once again, I'm not saying that it's not Xenoverse 3, but what I'm saying is, me personally, I'm waiting until the official announcement. And if it is, cool. Let's celebrate a new Dragon Ball game at the end of the day, regardless. And people, DM, you was wrong. It's Xenoverse 3. Okay, that's fine. I'm not right about everything. Okay. But understand how these things work, y'all. These pages aren't operated by Bandai Namco as heavy as people as these other content creators would lead you to believe. See, you got it even right there, Dragon Ball series. Why would you not have a dedicated page for that? Dragon Ball series. They got Sparking Zero. But notice how they labeled the game. Okay, this one was typed as Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. This one was Dragon Ball with the colon, and then Sparking Zero. I wonder what other Dragon Ball playlists they have on there. It's gonna show me a bunch of videos. It ain't gonna show me no playlist. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, guys. I know people gonna say I'm coping, and I can say the same thing about y'all that's saying that stuff. But like I said, if it's Xenoverse, it's Xenoverse. That's fine. I guess I don't want to get. I don't know, man. It's just something in me is just like, I'm not 100% sold on it. Because at the end of the day, like I said, number one, as a content creator, some of your playlists are named certain things for search engine optimization things. Number two, Toriyama he didn't work on Xenoverse 1 and 2. They took what he did with Dragon Ball Online, his characters that he created with Toa and Mira, and put them in the game. Okay. But and then number three, look at the games that Toriyama has worked heavily on. Sandland, Kakarot, and look how those games are designed. Toriyama likes world building. He loves building worlds that you can live in and experience. And knowing that about this game, it doesn't fit the Xenoverse model of being in a hub city and doing a bunch of missions. You get what I'm saying? So it could be vastly different. And then, like I said, they could have easily just changed the title of the playlist. And then you have the main Japan account that has it as age 1000. And this playlist has been up. If it was updated, it'll tell you, like this one tells you it was updated 4 days ago. This one hadn't been updated. They could have, if these Bandai Namco channels were that way, I'm pretty sure they tell them you can't put this out there, you can't put that out there. You get what I'm saying? But they don't dictate how they run these channels, if that makes sense, guys. They literally don't. They don't dictate heavily how these channels are ran, because if they did, everybody's playlist would be the same. But they're not. Okay? So that's why I kind of take that with a 60-40 approach. Let me know what y'all think, man. Like, I don't know. I just had to get that off my chest. Because like I said, people coming at me in the comments, and that's wild. That's wild. I mean, like, I don't know. I've just been doing YouTube for years and years. You know what I'm saying? I know how playlists work. You don't always label, like, I got a playlist right there, Dragon Ball Super Kakarot. Does that mean that there is a Dragon Ball Super Kakarot? No, but if you type in Dragon Ball Super Kakarot, it'll show you videos, and it'll also show you playlists. Okay? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Till next time, y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.